So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to start making some better content. I'm learning this. I'm still new. I was trying to push more content. I'm trying to make a little bit longer videos, more detailed oriented. I'm going to be doing some top 10 receivers in the game now and offensive linemen, those kind of videos as well, with some mock drafts sprinkled in and some drafts for each team. Working on editing, honing my skills on that. Not quite there yet, but I'll get there. In the meantime, the biggest trade possibly this year, and was allowed by when the courts decided not, and the jury decided not to press criminal charges against Deshaun Watson. I thought the Browns were out. I did another video called "The Browns Need to Make This Happen." And the reason I said that is because Baker Mayfield does not have the thickness of skin to withstand this. He doesn't like criticism. He doesn't like constructive criticism. It's become very apparent. Now, he's still a good quarterback, and he could be great if he would just zip it, stay off social media, and work on his skill and make himself better. Tom Brady didn't have strongest arm. He made it stronger. Baker can do the same thing. There's a lot of things Baker could do he's not doing. He'd rather deflect blame. That's what he seems to do. Blame Odell Beckham, blame Jarvis Landry, blame whoever you want. Well, guess what? Now maybe the Browns will be open to trading him, since earlier today they said they declined his trade request. Now it looks like the Cleveland Browns went back to Houston and said, hey, we'll pay you whatever you want to be a cornerstone franchise quarterback. He's going to get, it looks like, 5 years, $230 million, multiple picks, including, it looks like, 3 first-round picks. What a massive haul for the Texans. And I'll do a video on them as well, on how this could change the fortunes of the Texans franchise and allow them to put a lot more pieces around Davis Mills, or if they draft a quarterback this year, or if they possibly trade for a Derek Carr. That's still a possibility. But this is on the Browns. So now, will this entice Jadeveon Clowney to return to the Browns? Will this entice Zadarius Smith to come to the Browns to help that pass rush with Myles Garrett? Zadarius Smith declined the Ravens, backed out of that contract. Could he come to the Browns now? It looks like Fletcher Cox is signed with the Eagles. I'll look and make sure, but earlier reports today had him re-signing a 1-year deal with Philadelphia. He might regret that. He might back out of that and say, hey, you know what? Let me go to Cleveland. Wouldn't that be something? Bobby Wagner. Could this entice Bobby Wagner to the Browns? Could this entice Tyrann Mathieu to the Browns? Juju Smith-Schuster. Could this bring Jarvis Landry back? I mean, this could do a lot of things. It's kind of like the Tom Brady effect, but not to the same degree. Where now you have reports of Julio Jones going there. Will this attract Julio Jones to the Browns? A lot of possibilities here of what this does for the Cleveland Browns. Now, you still have Baker Mayfield. I would say more than likely they're going to move on from Baker. They're going to say, you're done here. We're going to go ahead and grant your trade request and trade you to the Colts or whoever. I'm assuming the Texans don't want him. I think Davis Mills is a lot younger and he's a lot better prospect anyway than Baker. And Baker's going to have a tough time finding a team possibly. There's not going to be many suitors. Now, maybe the Panthers will be willing to trade. Maybe the Saints. Would the Saints be willing to trade for Baker Mayfield? Probably wouldn't have to give up a whole lot. Maybe a first-round pick and a second. It's hard to say. I think he'd be a good fit for the Saints possibly. You could send Baker to the Panthers, to the Saints, in the NFC. I highly doubt they're going to trade him anywhere else. And the Bengals, let's be honest, the Bengals don't need him. Maybe the Steelers, but they wouldn't trade him in division. And the Ravens certainly don't need him. But do you really want to trade him into the AFC conference and have that come back to bite you? He comes back in a game against another team in the conference and beats you and makes you look foolish for trading all that for Deshaun Watson because he can't play because he's suspended for however many amount of time. Because this is still possible that Deshaun Watson faces an NFL suspension and fines and so on and so forth, depending on his civil cases. Now, this is a major block, but I really thought the Saints were going to be the team Deshaun Watson chose. But it is the Browns. Tom Pelissero reported it. Ian Rappaport reported it. It's out there. It's official. He's coming to Cleveland. He waived his no-trade clause. So now the Cleveland Browns have him, Amari Cooper. They have got a good bit of talent on that team. And now they've got their quarterback. So what else do the Cleveland Browns do? I don't know how many picks exactly they gave up. But at least 3 first-rounders. So probably, I think they only had 1 this year. So probably their first-round picks for the next 3 years, depending on who knows. $230 million. And people thought Aaron Rodgers was greedy. That's a lot of money over 5 years. A lot of money. Now, is he worth it? Absolutely. If you can, especially if you can put a team around him that the Houston Texans just could not or would not do. You've got a head coach in Kevin Stefanski that's pretty damn good. I think he's way underrated what he was able to do with Baker Mayfield and the team they had and some of the drama. And I think they have a really good defensive makeup, especially in the secondary and with Myles Garrett. Now they need help on the D-line. They need help at linebacker. They could use a stud tight end. I don't think David Njoku is that guy. They could use some other pieces at receiver if they go that route in the draft, which now they're going to be limited with what they gave up for Deshaun Watson. They could use some offensive line help as well. Now there's still some free agents out there. James Washington from the Pittsburgh Steelers possibility. Maybe he turns a corner. There's still some quality guys out there, even Julio Jones and others. So it is not too late for the Cleveland Browns to pick up other pieces to put around Deshaun Watson to possibly get to a Super Bowl. Are they a contender now in this division? The Steelers picked up some good pieces in free agency. Not sure what they'll do in the draft. But they are a contender again. They have Pat Freiermuth. They have the stud receiver. They have the running back. They have Mitch Trubisky, who is a bit underrated and didn't have a fair shot in Chicago with what they put around him, I believe. And they still have Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. Maybe they draft a quarterback, a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett. But they've got a staunch defense that could only get better. They got Miles Jack. Could be a stacked division again. Now, the 3 best quarterbacks, obviously Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson in that division, with Mitch Trubisky coming in 4th. Or Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, whoever it is. So the Browns have only helped themselves, possibly put themselves ahead of the Ravens even. Now, I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow, but you put enough talent around him, it's very possible. Now, the Bengals did help themselves on the offensive line tremendously, and they have a lot of draft picks, and they have a young quarterback. Deshaun Watson's a little bit older, still young, still in his 20s, late 20s. So he's not old. It's not like he's hitting 30 plus. So they have an opportunity here to possibly win the division, steal the division from the Bengals, and go to the playoffs and maybe make a run at a Super Bowl this year. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you happy? Surprised like I was? Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I heard they were out of the race. I'm like, well, that's it. Now they're in trouble because Baker Mayfield is going to be gone. They don't have a quarterback at all. But they pulled it. They went back. They went back with the fishing rod a second time and dipped that fishing lure in there, and the Texans took the bait. So there you have it, guys. We'll see what happens as far as what they put around him. But we'll talk about that in another video and find out. And like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notifications, like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.